Hello, and thanks for tuning into the Vessel News Show. I'm Kylee Miller.
And I'm Colter Elkin. It has been a packed semester at the University of Sioux Falls. Between teams, faculty, students, there was always something happening.
We have stories about sports, the theater department, Double Smile Day, Bible studies, and so much more. Most of us have heard about the show Survivor. The USF volleyball team is bringing Survivor to campus in a completely different way.
The University of Sioux Falls volleyball team has decided to take its own spin on the hit CBS TV show Survivor. Head coach Dan Matthews acts as Jeff Probst, the host of the show, coordinating immunity challenges, tribal council, and the edge of extinction. The two tribes, the Jalapenos and Habaneros, compete weekly to earn immunity, safe from the vote. On week 4, the immunity challenge is a simple 3v3 back row volleyball game, with the winner claiming immunity. Survivor contestant Sadie Voss talks about how difficult immunity challenges are.
The hardest challenge for me was probably like the relay challenge, which we had a bear crawl, crab walk, and then wheelbarrow.
Upon completion of the challenge, one team must attend tribal council, voting off 2 members of the tribe. Coach Dan Matthews shares his thoughts on if this may cause team separation.
Not at all. In fact, it's been super fun. Everyone's enjoying it. It's been a blast.
After the vote, the 2 tribe members that got voted off are now part of the edge of extinction. Anna Ruland and Kylee Horner were voted off from Team Jalapenos this week. There's an opportunity for eliminated players to rejoin the game at the merge. Voss discusses how important her alliances are.
I have a really strong alliance with one of my tribe mates that we've made from day one.
This week's Redemption Challenge for those exiled was a unique game of dodgeball. After 3 rounds, Elise Gillen came out on top. The merge concluded at the end of week 4, which included a hardcore obstacle course with the fastest time moving off the island. Elise Gillen and Jordan Ham both had an advantage from earning points in the previous weeks, but it wasn't enough to help beat out Kylee Horner, who finished with a time of 1:39. Coach Matthews discusses players who are standing out to him.
Jordan Cooper and Sadie Voss have managed to stay alive, and yeah, they seem to be pretty resilient in their tribes.
This week's coverage does not conclude the race. With 3 weeks left, one player has yet to be the last one standing. For the Vessel Online, I'm Jordan.
The Cougar Activities Board has a fun night of relaxation and friends as part of their paint night.
The University of Sioux Falls Cougars Activity Board, also known as the CAB, hosted a painting night in Cooper's Cafe on April 15th. CAB board member Kylee Miller explains why and how they hosted the event.
We wanted to do paint night because we thought it'd be a fun way for students to relieve some stress and just come paint. And this year we added different like mugs and canvases and like different paint by like in the lines. So we just wanted to find some new things and find a way for students to relieve some stress. It's just one of our big events. Everyone loves to come out and paint, and it's definitely one we want to foresee to keep going and do in the future.
We asked 2 students, Kennedy and Courtney, on how they found out about this event and also why they came to the event.
I saw the posters for it around campus, and I saw it on the USF.
Heard about this event from my friends and from the poster that they posted around North.
I found this on Pinterest, trying my best to recreate it, but it's okay if it's not perfect.
I feel like painting for me is just a way to relax and cool down from the end of the school day.
Students get to choose out of multiple objects available to paint and choose their paint colors. Students are encouraged to be as creative as possible. For the Vessel Online, I'm Brooke.
With the hope of bringing an extra smile to their customers, Scooters is holding their annual Double Smile Day.
Scooters Coffee Shop introduces their Double Smiles event, an event where customers who have the Scooters app receive double points upon scanning their barcode. Scooters barista Emma talks about the event.
Double Smiles is an event from the 15th through the 17th, where when customers come, they can get extra points for every dollar that they send, and which brings a lot more business and more people to use the app too.
Scooters Assistant Manager Taya discusses the event and how their customers benefit from the event.
Double Smiles Day is a promotion we do where you earn double the amount of rewards points for every dollar you spend. So normally it is 3 points per dollar. So on these days, it'll be 6.
Rebecca, a customer at Scooters, shares why she continues to come.
Every time I come and I use the point system, I get a free drink when I make enough points.
Emma says the more customers that come through, the more money the store receives to buy new equipment, more supplies, and of course, bringing in new customers. Taya also says what she loves about working at Scooters.
Favorite part about working here? I mean, I like coffee, so that's definitely a benefit. But it's kind of like a game, I feel like, especially when it's really busy. I kind of feel like you're kind of like a Papa's piece of video game.
The Double Smiles event runs from April 15th through 17th, 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. at every Scooters location. For the Vessel Online, I'm Layla.
University of Sioux Falls tennis team is stepping up their game on the court for the next level of matches.
The University of Sioux Falls women's tennis season is nearing the end, and with the conference tournament approaching, the last 2 regular season matches will be crucial for the coup. Coach Kevin Grebin talks about his perspective on the season.
The season has gone fantastic. With all the effort and cooperation and togetherness we've had on this team, I could not have asked for a better season. Just how well this team has glued together, how well they support each other, and the atmosphere we have both on and off the court. That's the big difference I see.
Assistant coach Kevin Plank says how important these last 2 matches are and how they are going to prepare for the upcoming conference tournament.
Very important, not just for standings purposes, but you always want to go into the conference tournament feeling good, a lot of momentum, feeling confident. So that's just as important as winning as well. You know, we just keep practicing hard, keep the energy up, keep the team unity up, and I think we'll be just fine.
The Coup are back in action for the NSIC tournament April 26. For the Vessel Online, I'm Mylan Lemke.
Coming up next, we have stories on Bible study and senior theater shows. We'll be right back. A student at the University of Sioux Falls is expanding her small business from the dorms to campus.
You've probably seen some of her work around campus, but have you seen the face behind the art? Anna Booker is a freshman at the University of Sioux Falls and is studying graphic design and photography. She tells us what it's like running a small business while attending college.
I started Anna Grace Art when I was an 8th grader. My summer going into 8th grade year, I got really into reading the Bible and started learning a lot about my faith. And because of that, I wanted to paint my own Bible. And then from there, I started painting Bibles and journals for people. I started out by offering hand-painted journals and Bibles, and that kind of grew into a lot of signage. And then once I started getting a little bit more known in the community, I moved into working with a lot of brides for weddings. In high school, I joined a program called CEO, and because of that, they gave us a grant to start our own business. And I already had my art stuff going, so I started selling sweatshirts and apparel. Since coming to college, it's been a lot harder to do painting projects, I would say, because I would do a lot of signage work at home, things for weddings, a lot of Bibles and journals on a large scale. And now coming to college, I just have a tiny desk, so I don't have a lot of room to really sprawl out and get my stuff everywhere. My goal is for midsummer to have a new sweatshirt collection coming out, possibly with printed journals, which I have never done before. Moving into the summer, I have a few murals lined up for my hometown, and I'm also working with our city to create kind of a marketing graphic for the city, which they'll put on apparel and posters, all that sort of thing. So that's really exciting.
Reagan Loft is a high school friend of Anna's and tells us how she has seen Anna and her business grow throughout the years.
Anna and I became friends in 7th grade, and then we've just been friends since then, and then went to college together, so we've just been close. I've seen her business grow as just in middle school when she'd do stuff for fun. And then it started becoming really popular, and she started doing Kindle markets. Anna's a super sweet person, and as she talks to her customers, she makes sure that they get all their needs and clarifies everything she's doing to get the right product to the person.
For more information on Anna and her artwork, visit shopannagrace.art. For the Vessel Online, I'm Elizabeth Tinklenberg.
With the hope to bring the Word of God to current students, the Collier Baker, Kroski, and Burgess Bible Study is doing just that.
On Tuesday nights, the students that live in Collier Baker, Kroski, Burgess dorms gather together to open up God's Word. This is where they meet up and observe, ask questions, and apply the passage to their daily lives. The Bible study is led by the ministry advocates, Charms Kruger, and Elizabeth Smith of CBKB. Elizabeth Smith helps lead the discussion in the Bible study alongside Charm.
My name's Elizabeth Smith, and I am a junior here at USF, and I am a ministry advocate for CBKB. I love being a ministry advocate. This is my first year, but I've applied for a couple years now, and I absolutely love leading Bible study with my co-leader, Charm. Basically what we do in our Bible studies is we have a specific chapter that we go through every Bible study, and we dive into deep discussion questions, which I absolutely love. Our Bible studies are not typically what you would see at like a normal church or something, or teaching or giving like a lecture, but rather more discussion oriented and diving into the word together style, which I absolutely love. It's been so much fun to be able to see people grow deeper in their relationship with the Lord and deeper in discussion with others and in relationship and community with the other people that attend.
Ainsley, who is an active goer, speaks on the positives of going to the Bible study.
Love the community that we have in our dorm Bible study this year. We have just such fun people who come, and we have really great discussion. It's such a good time midweek to spend time studying God's Word and spending time with friends.
Students feel a sense of community as it is a safe place to be vulnerable and ask for prayer. This is Faith Ann Ricavina, live from the Vessel.
Theater students at the University of Sioux Falls are working on their senior production of Silent Sky.
Tell me more.
Are you tempting me with astronomy?
Every senior communication studies and theater major is required to put on a senior show or project. This spring, Elliot Dahlman and Abigail Holmes are putting on Silent Sky, a play to be put on later in the semester. Dahlman gives a brief synopsis of the show.
Silent Sky is about a historical figure named Henrietta Leavitt. It's the story of her discovering a very important thing about space and how we map the sky and how we know the distance between stars. It's about her discovering that along with other women of her time in a very chauvinist, patriarchal society, and how she has to jump over all of those hurdles to get there.
Senior Abigail Holmes decided to take a different route to the senior show.
I have always loved acting at the heart. That's kind of what I started out doing. Silent Sky is such a well-written show that I knew that I would feel some sort of like loneliness if I chose to direct, just because my one true love is being on stage and being in a cast and things like that. So I knew that I wanted to be in that aspect, especially in Silent Sky, since it is such a well-written show, and be able to say Lauren Gunderson's words and be authentic to that character has really, really changed kind of how I view acting as well.
Silent Sky will be performing on Saturday, May 4th. This is the only performance date, so don't miss out. With the Vessel Online, I'm Grace Flaherty.
The cross-country team is going through some changes this next year. Here's how they react to the coach leaving.
The University of Sioux Falls has recently undergone some major changes in the running departments for cross-country and track. After a decade of maintaining the head coaching position for the men's and women's cross-country and long-distance teams, Doug Peterson retired and handed the position down to a trusted former athlete of his. The new coach, Zach Lundberg, is a former 4-year cross-country and track runner and indoor track All-American for the University of Sioux Falls. He discusses his experience as head coach of the distance team and his first outdoor season.
It was kind of interesting. I feel like there's a lot of like pros and cons to it, and the cons aren't that big. Like the cons would be like I'm younger in age, so like some of the team is partially athletes that I was an athlete with, so that's could fuzz the lines a little bit. But like that transition has actually gone really well, and like I honestly think that having the recency, like the recent knowledge of being an athlete, has helped transition to coaching really well.
Coach Lundberg took over the team around January of this year after spending about a year and a half of assistant coaching under Coach Peterson.
2 years after college, it was like, what do I want to do with my life? And I was like, I still love running. I still love the sport. I still follow University of Sioux Falls track and field. So I was like, hey, like, why not I volunteer and see where that goes? And like the first year I was here, I took over the 800-meter group, and it was just a blast. And so then ever since then, it was just like, all right, let's just kind of go all in. And the one thing I always say, and like Doug always said it, like I'm not working. Like I'm truly just like showing up and enjoying my life.
Fifth-year runner and USF senior Annika talks about her positive experience throughout this transition with Coach Lundberg.
Yeah, what he brings to the table is just kind of a fresh new perspective, and it's been fun to see the change in the team dynamic over the years that I've been here. I mean, 5 is quite a bit, so you see the team in many different eras, and I'm really liking the one that we're in now. So,
For the Vessel Online, I'm Eva Stute.
Coming up next, we have stories on construction in Brandon and USF wrestling. We'll be right back. It's that time of year again when orange cones begin to fill the streets. The city of Brandon is experiencing road construction season.
In Brandon, South Dakota on North Split Rock Boulevard, there is trouble preventing normalcy for businesses and their owners in the form of construction. Mike at Vocal Motors talks about his thoughts of the construction.
They are working on setting things up to take out my front entrance. They'll be replacing that at a later date, but I'll be closed off probably most of the summer from the front. So the customers will have to come all the way around and use the back entrance to my lot.
Mike is not the only one who is being affected by this construction. Dave from Tailgaters says he's having difficulty with the new additions.
Well, they're moving my front entrance to the back. So over time, I'm guessing, I'm losing 5 parking spots. It's not going to be the best for probably the first year. They're going to give us access the whole time, which will be nice. But it might deter some people from stopping just because of the headache. So it'll be down, but we can't change that either.
Construction in Brandon on North Split Rock Boulevard is necessary, but it's important to reflect on how businesses are impacted. From the Vessel Online, I'm Rachel Vogel.
When you need an off-campus escape for some creativity, Color Me Mine is a place to go.
Color Me Mine Studio in Sioux Falls is a painting and pottery business where friends and family can take classes. Owner, Karen Mikowski, talks about her favorite classes to lead.
Technique classes where you're doing like painting something, because then you're doing step by step.
Color Me Mine employee Sydney talks about the environment around the studio and her favorite things to do while working.
Honestly, it's like being with friends and family, like being at home. It's super chill, like we all get along. I love glazing and loading the kilns because it's like playing Tetris.
Color Me Mine hosts monthly themed events. Mikowski discusses how they come up with the ideas and where to find them.
So it's just kind of seeing what's popular or what trends are out there that people are really following. Facebook, Instagram, and a lot of times it's word of mouth.
Mikowski describes this month's themed event, which is a Taylor Swift-inspired painting event called Era's Night.
So you can come in and that's something new, and they're going to make friendship bracelets, and they can paint anything they want, but we'll have some ideas out so that they can come in, and that's usually those are kind of fun because everybody gets really excited and they're talking about the whole thing. We'll have the albums playing and music playing in the background.
For more information on upcoming events, visit their website at siouxfalls.colormemine.com. For the Vessel Online, I'm Bailey.
The USF men and women's wrestling team took off on their first year and are continuing to grow on and off the mat.
What builds a wrestling program? For the University of Sioux Falls men's coach, Matt Muehlnerth, it's all about growth and chemistry.
This year we have 35 guys on our roster currently. Last year we had 22. Our guys have meshed well together. They get along, it seems like. Spend a lot of time together, so that's been really cool to see. Seeing how much our guys grow from last year, our returners, seeing how much better they've gotten in a year, and just seeing how fast and how far our freshmen have progressed. Like having half of our team be new, but half of our team be experienced in our program. Our young guys, we feel like, have moved along things pretty quickly this year, or quicker than we did last year, just because we had experienced guys showing them, how to do things and what the right way of doing things is. We've split up practices to allow more room for the guys, and it allows us as coaches to spend more time individually with our guys, and we get our eyes on them more.
Student athlete Ashton Johnson speaks on his hopes for the season.
I'm looking forward probably just to see how much better we've all gotten and what the new guys can bring to the table. We put in a lot of work already this year, so hopefully that will pay off.
For more information, go to usfcougars.com or visit the USF Cougars app to support the team. For the Vessel Online, I'm Samantha Hidalgo.
Coming up next in our final segment, we have stories on the men's basketball team and golf. We'll be right back. Now we highlight the USF Theater Department costume shop.
Here at the University of Sioux Falls, the performing arts take center stage. With this campus's theater department averaging 4 to 6 productions each year, a huge amount of student involvement goes into every USF show. However, for each group of dedicated students in this theater program, there are numerous designers and professors who work behind the scenes to make USF's main stage shows look amazing. And this semester, USF's costume department is getting a new look. Catherine Holtz has taken the stage as USF's new costume designer and adjunct professor. Catherine describes just what it's like to work as the costume designer for USF.
Courses where students sign up to help create the costumes for the show. So they come in and kind of learn about the process from the cast list. So we need to take measurements, and we go in and we pull costumes. And some things you have to make, and some things you have to purchase.
Catherine graduated from Augustana University with a technical theater degree. She now works a full-time job at the Washington Pavilion, a local visual and performing arts center. But she still enthusiastically agreed to help costume USF's spring musical, Big Fish.
I get to use both halves of my brain, because I've got the logical list making spreadsheet person over here analyzing the data, and then I get to come in here and be creative and do crazy stuff, and it's just like feeding my soul, and I love it.
Working on a large show can have its challenges, but it also has its rewards.
Oh my gosh, it was incredible. The students were so great to work with.
And the students who work with Catherine feel much the same about her. Ellie Erickson, an actress in the school's most recent production, shares what it's been like to work with the new costume designer.
I think Catherine is so amazing. She's very patient, and she really put her all into it. And clearly, if you have seen Big Fish, it is so apparent. She's very attention to detail and wants to put out her best so that we look our best. And I'm very thankful for her.
Working on a large show can have its challenges, but it also has its rewards. And according to Catherine, one of the most satisfying parts of working on Big Fish was just seeing it come together. Catherine's favorite part of costume design, though, is the storytelling.
Because that's what I love about costume design, is that before they tell you who they are, you see who they are.
It's no small task to design costumes for a university theater department, but Catherine has done so with amazing talent, and we can't wait to see what she designs next. For the Vessel Online, I'm M. Mercer.
The USF basketball team discusses the upcoming year and expectations for the season.
There are many trials and tribulations when it comes to college basketball, and this year USF was no stranger to it. Head coach Chris Johnson delves into how they overcame such adversity.
I think it started right from the beginning. We lost our first 3 games by 1 point each, and when you have high expectations, I mean, that'll set you back on your heels. I thought we did a great job of kind of responding to that, and by the middle of January we were playing really well, had gotten to 5 or 6 games above 500.
I then spoke with Jack Thompson, senior guard who helped lead the Cougars to an NSIC tournament appearance.
We had a lot of new people coming in. We lost a lot the year before, so I had a lot of transfers, freshmen, like 6 to 8, so a lot of new faces to get used to the program.
Through the season's ups and downs, the team had found themselves in an intense playoff matchup versus Bemidji State.
Surprisingly, we were extremely confident. We were the 8 seed, so we got home court advantage, but we were 0-2 in the regular season against them. We actually lost on a buzzer beater the first time.
So we had played 2 games just like that with Bemidji. They hit a 3 here at the buzzer to beat us earlier in the year. We were up 2, we called timeout, we said, do not foul. Like, don't put them on the line, give them a chance to win the game, right? If they score, we're still gonna have the ball. It's gonna be about, we thought, 7-8 seconds left. Worst case scenario, we go into overtime at home. And the play call was really simple. Give Jack the ball, get out of his way, and let him go make a play. I mean, it really was that simple. It wasn't a lot of coaching involved in that, and because he makes big shots in those moments. He did against Augustana last year at home. He's done it a bunch of times, and that's kind of what we rolled with, and it worked out, so it makes it look like everything was a great decision.
I was really back and forth. They ended up making a shot with 10 or so seconds left to tie it up. Coach Johnson didn't call a timeout, so he kind of knew that I was just going to bring it up, and kind of lost the ball in transition a little bit if you've seen the clip, and then just decided to try to get downhill, get to the rim, and hopefully cause a foul. Didn't end up getting the foul call, but kind of snuck off a layup with my left hand that luckily bounced around the rim a few times and dropped in.
Great atmosphere. I mean, the amount of other teams, football, volleyball, baseball that were there, and then to win a game in such a kind of crazy deal, and then watch the students rush the floor. Like, those are some things you need sometimes to remind you why you do this when things get hard.
It was definitely one of the greatest experiences I've had at USF. Jake Kettner, my freshman roommate, it was just us two looking at each other at the bottom of the dog pile and just smiling, having a great time, and a moment that'll last forever, for sure.
From the Vessel Online, this is Caleb.
The golf team is taking a swing at improving their game through recruiting, practicing, and a whole lot of teamwork.
Every spring, USF golfers look forward to the end of the winter season so they can practice outside. With snow and bad weather in February and March, they have to practice inside getting ready for the upcoming season. Mason Weeks from Spirit Lake, Iowa is one of almost a dozen golfers getting ready for college play.
As far as what we do for practicing in the winter, we have access out of great shots, so we just go out there a lot. Typically when it's really cold in the winter, it's kind of whatever, and we just try to go out there for however long we can.
Weeks says he also tries to work with the swing coach at Great Shots a few times a month.
And then as far as expectations for this season, we're hoping to try to win our conference this year. We have a pretty good team. And then as far as expectations for myself, I'm hoping to win conference individually, of course.
The golf team has already played several invitationals, including Augustana Invitational and the Washburn University Fire Open, then preparing for the NSIC Championship in late April. For the Vessel Online, I'm Noah.
With so much happening this year, I cannot wait to see what they have in store for next year.
Thank you for watching the Spring 2024 edition of the Vessel Online.
We'll be back next fall with more stories from the campus of the University of Sioux Falls. See you next semester.